Hello everyone, and welcome to Morning Atamai, the show where we speak resilience and community. My name is Nehemiah Lutu, and today we're joined here by Mercy Aperaamo. Living with paralysis and scoliosis, Mercy has turned her journey into a powerful voice for inclusion, awareness, and resilience. Mercy, it is truly an honor to have you here with us today.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
It's amazing to have you. So to start us off, can you share a little bit about yourself and more importantly, your journey and what has led up to this moment and where you're at in your life right now?
Sure. Well, my name is Mercy Aperaamo. My first name is actually Fenomarama, but since that's a bit of a mouthful, everyone just calls me Mercy. I'm 21 years old. I just graduated from Tafuna High School, class of 2024.
Hey.
And I am currently pursuing my bachelor's online.
All right.
So yeah. And as you can see, I'm a wheelchair user. I have paralysis and scoliosis, and I've been paralyzed since I was 4 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I did read about that in your bio as well, and I can't imagine how that was, but you have clearly shown that, it's the person inside that matters. So first and foremost, that's very powerful, and thank you very much. So you've spoken about your challenges, and especially in your bio, about all the challenges that individuals with disabilities face on a daily basis, especially in emergency situations.
Yes.
So from your experience, what are some of the biggest gaps in emergency preparedness that people often overlook?
Well, one thing, especially here on island, that I've noticed, and this is a big topic that I've always talked about before, it's accessibility. In schools, I know we have mandatory emergency drills, seasonally, rarely. But when we do, I found that they always tell us, I know in the case of earthquakes, the main advice they gave you is to stop, drop, and roll.
Yes.
But then I remember just sitting there listening to them, like, how am I going to stop, drop, and roll from here to there? So I think that's one of the things that I struggled with, because usually they say it's important to have a SPED teacher on the scene when it happens, but emergencies, we can't always predict when they do happen. So it's not always a guarantee that we'll have someone there to help us. And I know it's a natural part of us to be scared during those moments,
Panic and whatnot.
And as mean as it is, to be realistic, people are only gonna worry about themselves.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
that's one thing that we struggle with, especially as people with disabilities and who need a little bit more help physically to get to safety.
And it takes a real caretaker in order to that you can trust in someone.
I know when I'm at home, I don't worry about that, but at schools and in public spaces, I just pray and hope nothing happens.
Which is a really great question that I definitely wanted to ask. When it comes to the home life as well, and we can take it out of the emergency itself, but what are the things that maybe caretakers out there who are watching this right now, but they can apply to their own caretaking jobs or those that they're taking care of, outside of an emergency situation and inside of an emergency situation?
That's a great question. Thank you. Well, this is perfect because just last Saturday we had a visit with the weather station, so we got some great tips from. some great tips from them. They said for example, in the case of an earthquake, I think the most important part is to cover your head.
Yeah.
So make sure you don't have any bookcases next to your bed and that kind of thing, right? And then for those who use assistive devices, especially those that are powered, that have batteries, you always have to keep them charged. Yeah.
And have backups as well.
Yeah, and have backups. And, keep an emergency kit, like a little backpack, just in case. You never know.
No, absolutely.
Whatever necessities you need to have, just throw them in there.
I've got my emergency kit on standby already. Me and my grandma, and I've got to make sure she's got her extra medication.
That's good.
So I hear you, and I hope our viewers also listen to that advice as well. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
So again, that definitely puts in some things into practice. And I want to ask, what are some of the practical changes that schools or communities could make to better include individuals like yourself and in their emergency planning as well? For example, I know that one of the things that we worked on last semester, we had a great opportunity to speak to someone who was also wheelchair bound, and if I'm not mistaken, they also mentioned how Alofa mentioned that the ramps themselves weren't the best condition at a school. So that was one of the things that he worked on. How about you?
Same.
You
know, because that's like, we can't take stairs.
Yeah.
So we rely on the ramps. And the ramps, they really need, because at school, or at least where we went to school, there was only one ramp. Wow. So if we're in one classroom all the way at the other end of the campus, we're gonna have to like zoom all the way to just to make it to the ramp. Yeah. And elevators, I know that's not really practical, but it would be nice to have an elevator maybe. But then in the case of emergencies, that's also kind of...
The speed's always a thing, And God forbid someone, a bunch of kids start taking the ramp too. Like, hey, that's my lane. So, and I really appreciate that insight. Now, you've also been doing incredible work with the American Samoa Center for Independent Living. Can you tell us more about that, like what that organization does, and maybe your position inside that organization?
Okay, well, for now, we only have some board members, a board member, and some supporters. So I actually serve as vice chairwoman of the board. Oh, wow. But, right now we're kind of like multitasking.
Everybody's wearing different hats.
Yes. So American Samoa Center for Independent Living. It's fairly new. We just started... It came into works like in December, and we just started in January. But what it's for, it's a nonprofit organization that focuses on helping people with disabilities learn how to lead independent lives, or at least be as independent as they can be.
Yeah, absolutely.
So right now we're just focusing on trying to teach people about their rights under the ADA, trying to teach them how to advocate for themselves, and peer counseling too, because we have a lot of youth who struggle with disabilities. So
and then that I love that, because that goes into a lot of what we teach here as well in the IAM classroom, which was resilience. It takes a strong person or a strong mind to become a strong person. So one thing I want to ask on a personal level is, for your own journey that has shaped the way, how do you define independence and resilience?
Independence and resilience. Well, like you said, a strong mind makes a strong person, right? So I know physically there's a lot that makes us different, but I think to be resilient is to just know how to work with what you've got. I think that's a big thing, especially here on the island, because it's not just people with disabilities that struggle with resource constraints. I'm sure fully physically able people do as well. So I think just don't be afraid to reach out for help. That's another thing. I think people tend to rely too much on self-sufficiency. But, especially in case of emergencies, community is a big help. So try to reach out to those who are willing to help and willing to lend a hand in whatever.
Communication, people. Communication.
Yes.
You can't stress that enough. Closed mouths don't get fed. Okay. And so thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
And then I want to... That actually is a great opportunity. So outside of the advocacy work that you do at the Independent Living Center, what are some of the passions or hobbies that people might be surprised to hear of that you like to do?
That's a great question. Surprised? I think I like to do 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzles.
Really?
I was just doing one today before I came here, just to calm myself down. But and another thing, I'm not a math person. I don't like numbers, which is ironic because I'm actually pursuing accounting. So,
really?
Yeah.
Just to satisfy my curiosity, what was the puzzle? What was the picture of the puzzle?
It looks like a painting of a cottage in a forest.
I love that. Oh, and then when you mentioned, when it comes to your definition of resilience and independence, and then you also mentioned something about teaching the kids there that come in. Can you explain to us a little bit more about that? What are you guys teaching these guys? What are you helping them with?
Well, one thing that we do is, so for example, a lot of our youth, after they graduate high schools, they immediately go looking for jobs, and then very rarely do they ever apply for college. So that's another thing we help them with, writing resumes. If you want to apply for college, we can also help you apply for colleges, but you're probably going to have to handle the tuition part on yourself. But stuff like that. And, like basic hygiene, like have just yourself. If you're able to, we can help you with that. I don't know, because everybody has different disabilities. So if that's something that we see that you're able to do, then we'll try to help you in that area.
I love that. No, I really like that. Hygiene is one of the things that you can do on a daily basis that'll increase your confidence, you know, and make you feel more comfortable in your body, you know. And so I love that. I really do.
And I remember Hope mentioned budgeting. Yeah, that's another thing that we were thinking of doing.
Wow. I might need help there.
You and me both.
But what did she say about that?
She said she likes budgeting. I'm like, that's new. I never heard her mentioning anything about budgeting before, so I learned something new about Hope.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that we also input something that the people here can look into for in order to contact you guys and your organization. If they want to support, if they want to go out and volunteer, people, you know, how can they reach you guys?
We have an email, asilc.byusforus@gmail.com. So you're free to email us if you have any questions. We also have a phone number, 731-2960.
Okay.
So, you know, if you're not an email type of person, you can just give us a call.
Yeah.
And we also have Facebook, American Samoa Center for Independent Living. I know it's a mouthful, but you know, it's the easiest way to recognize.
That's how everybody works on island. So before we wrap things up, I want to say, what advice would you give to future leaders or emergency managers who want to better support individuals with disabilities?
I think what you guys are doing here, having conversations, is the first step, you know.
Awareness,
that would be really nice to have, because, you know, it's better to hear from those who live it than, you know, just going out and doing the plan on their own. So I think the first step should always to have conversations with the youth, because we also have some elderly people too who come by. So I think having conversations and just being open to speak and talk.
Spreading awareness.
Yeah, spreading awareness.
Having people who are open-minded.
And accessibility.
Yes.
The ramps and an elevator. That's possible.
Mercy, I want to thank you so very much for sharing your story, your insight, and your heart with us here at the PCH building.
Yes.
Your voice is not only powerful, but it is necessary. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you too for having me. It's such a blessing and an honor to be here. I'm glad.
I'm glad you are here with us.
Thank you.
And to our viewers, thank you for tuning in to Good Morning Atamai, where we continue to highlight stories of resilience and strength in our community. Please, again, do not forget to reach out on Facebook, their Facebook page at American Samoa Center for Independent Living. Please visit that. And while you're there, you might as well check out our own Facebook page, where we all post things resilience and preparedness, which is Pacific Center in Human Security, or PCHS for short. Please go ahead and give us a follow. Stay safe, stay informed, and thank you very much for joining us here at Morning Atamai.